Hello everybody, welcome to Buy Me a Coffee. This is Vanessa and this channel is Rather Retired. Now some of you are new to me, so I'm going to start as if you've never met me before. My name is Vanessa, I'm 65 years old, and I chose the title Rather Retired because I was new to social media, period, in July 2018. Here it is, 2025, and I have aged another 7 years. I have early retirement, and I am here to tell you that part two of this first episode is about to tell you even more. So hopefully you just watched part one, which I have two channels that will always be related to Rather Retired. I show part one of Rather Retired, always show it on YouTube. My YouTube channel is Rather Retired. Now, after you see part one, you jump over to Buy Me a Coffee, and you definitely will see part two. But as an added bonus, because on Buy Me a Coffee, I just ask $5 as a donation to the channel because it motivates me to keep going. You don't feel cheated. You feel like you can give some extra content. Don't have to worry about all the rules. So my thing is this, for people who feel grateful, I'm grateful enough that you appreciate what I do, and hopefully the information and the motivation that I offer to you, that you want to donate $5, I give you more information. So I definitely give you part one and part two. And every episode on Rather Retired, I will give you the episode number. So this is episode one, part one, why did I retire? Part one, you just saw, and then this is going to be part two. So I'm Vanessa, let's get started with part two. The topic is why did I retire? So parts one, I talked about what my career was because, as I mentioned, you have to be able to calculate how many hours you have put into your career. Because think about every check you get, it says Social Security earnings. In other words, they're holding that money. Once you complete the task of so many hours spent working in America and at a certain age, you will get some of that back. And it's little by little each month. That was a lot of money and a lot of hours calculated. I passed that test and I was able to claim for early retirement. Number two in part one was kind of telling you how did I get to that decision, because a lot has happened in America lately politically. Things have changed. It's not always what it was when I was 40. Some of you are probably 40 and up. And for me, when I was 40, it was guaranteed. Of course, you work and then you get your retirement, your Social Security benefits. Well, guess what? America has changed, so, which I don't get, but people are acting as if that's not your money you worked for, that they somehow own your money. No, this is my money and I want my money back. So with that said, when I saw the political climate changing, I said, oh no, it's time. Why did I retire? I felt it was time, and I was able to pass the test to get that money back. So that was A and B in part one, and now let's go to C, D, E. C is returning to Atlanta. Now, I lived in a total of 8 states in my lifetime. I was coming from a state in the north, and I had to come back here to the south. Now, coming back here to, and I always say Atlanta Metro because I don't want to tell everybody my business, which I'm doing. But anyway, I had to come back to the South, and it was going to be hard for me. I'm a lifelong Democrat, and my man, President Jimmy Carter, will miss you. Forever you live to be 100, you deserved it. You're a blessing. You were a blessing in my life. But Jimmy Carter was our Democratic governor. I mean, I was loving my life. And all of a sudden, Georgia went back to being Jim Crow Georgia. And I don't think we're going to come out of Jim Crow Georgia in quite some time. America has changed. We went through beautiful Democratic policymakers for quite some time recently, and then things changed again. And so the energy that votes against having that great safe retirement is back in office, and I wish you all luck. But you have to know when to retire. And for me, that was a big signal. It's time. You have to know for yourself, not just how much money you have in the bank and where it all. There's a lot you're going to have to consider before you retire. And don't forget the reminder, 1 out of 5 people, you won't have control over everything. Your health is something you can't control. And you also will never be able to control if you're the last one in your family. And that means you won't have that infrastructure available. So those are the things you won't be able to plan for, but they will be able to tell you it's time. You get me? You don't want to wait till the last minute. And I've been suggesting that if you're 40 and up, it's time for you to start getting ready. There's a lot that you have to learn and become knowledgeable about. And times are changing. So my C was coming back to the South. When I left 30-something years, it had been a lot of Democrats from my childhood. I wasn't always great as the South. But Jimmy Carter brought this breath of fresh air, and Maynard Jackson, he was my mayor. And it was like life was great, and I left at 17, and I just loved it. And coming back now, it's not even close to what I left. This is a place that the world came here when we had the Olympics, and they didn't leave. We're still waiting to take them on back to the airport. At least I am. It's too many people, and they're not always my kind of people. So coming back here, I had to really get my mindset ready. On top of that, I was older. I was not that young girl out there knowing everybody social, active. I was not that person anymore. Now I am 65, and back then I was entering the 60s. So physically, things had started changing. And I had to get to know the infrastructure of the new city. You have to know where the offices of Social Security are. You will have to know where the hospitals are, where all of the housing mechanics and car mechanics and you have to learn the whole infrastructure. Think about what I'm saying. You could be living in A, and if you choose to retire in B, you have to ask yourself, are you going to learn the infrastructure of B little by little? That means every other vacation, you need to vacation in B, this other retirement city you have in mind, so that you can be able to learn that infrastructure. You don't want to learn it at the last minute. You want to find out, where will you live? Do you know how to drive around? What's the cost of living? The grocery stores, the hospital, doctors, you name it. Your life in retirement is totally different. And if you're coming alone, where you have an infrastructure of people, start getting to know them. Send those cards. Happy birthday, everybody, call them. Start getting familiar and re-familiarize yourself with that infrastructure. See, also includes, are you married? Are you in agreement on what you two are going to do for retirement? Because you're both getting older, and it may not be to your benefit to stay in that one city, especially if you two are there and the children are somewhere else, if you have children, or your family and his family somewhere else, or her family, you have to start thinking about your infrastructure. What will exist when you make that decision? And you need to know about it and have that information figured out before you claim that early retirement or that retirement. And don't forget, the law in 2025 has changed so that you can't even claim the full benefit package until you are 66 years old plus 10 months. And I want to make sure you're looking at all of this updated information because things do change. Politics, that umbrella, controls it all. And in a couple of days, you're going to have a whole new government entering the White House. So I'm here to tell you, preparing early is not a bad thing. It's a great thing. If I were you, I'd start at 40, preparing. Okay, so let's go to D. D is called COVID-19. Okay, so why did I retire? COVID-19. Early retirement for me was easy breezy. Why? Because I was able to turn 62 right towards the end of COVID. During COVID, I had turned 60. When it kicked off, I turned 60. And I was like, oh my goodness, oh my God, please let me live to see another day. Everybody was out here praying and hoping in blessings and wishing and praying. We were doing everything required because we had never experienced anything like it. And all those plans you had in mind were just by the wayside. People, everything you thought was solid and in place changed. And no one saw COVID-19 coming. And that's part of what I was saying. People don't end up homeless because they want to. Things happen that you cannot always plan for. It is best to have backup. What's plan B? What's plan C in case? So it's good that you're starting now at the age of 40. That's my suggestion to you. Is to start as early as possible and start your scenarios of learning. So for me, the shock in the plan was called COVID-19. But thank goodness I survived it. I always get my little shoot me up. I don't mind because I've lived long enough through so much to know one thing you better try your best to handle is your health. Because it's a guarantee you have no control over it. So whatever people can offer you, try to take it. Good decision making. And for me, I knew this was a now or never. The world was suffering. And I said, V, what can you do to make sure you make it to early retirement? I needed 2 more years. I was 60 when it hit. And by 21, I was right there online, socialsecurity.gov. I was your new best friend because I knew this was that moment. I was like, my creator had allowed me to survive COVID-19. Do you understand? A lot of people didn't, and we need a global, not a holiday, but like a memorial day to say these people survived and these did not. And let's give our hearts and blessings to the Creator. We survived something. I had never seen the globe shut down. That was the whole world, people. I didn't know the world could just shut down. So that freaked me out. I'm sure it freaked you out, but here I am. Because the moment I came through, I had planned that if I make it through, I will be at the socialsecurity.gov website learning and doing what was required, and within months, early retirement was granted. And I have been under that umbrella of protection since. So 65, in my age group, I was able to finally move forward and earn Medicare, my baby. Medicare is the best insurance I've ever had in my life, and you are going to have to go through some decision making on that. But I will say that's part of episode 2. Make sure you come back this channel. Make sure you are following, subscribing, giving the donations, going to YouTube to subscribe, and then coming here for Buy Me a Coffee. $5 donation is all I ask. But think about how much information I've already given you, how much thought process that you're going to have to go through. And you don't, if you can, you don't want to end up a sad retiree. And YouTube has a lot of those channels. And I'm telling you, try not to be like that. Try not to. I mean, I'm just beginning. This is like episode 1. So I have a long way to go with you, and I'm going to try to be here with you because I've been doing this a while, and I love helping people through this process. And it's so much you're going to learn, and I'm trying to prepare you for it and get you ready. So with that said, E, we made it through COVID-19, and that's all of us who are here. And now it's time to move this way, right? So the decision for me didn't just mean physically moving to a new city, new house, address, everything. It didn't just mean how are you health care going to take care of yourself, because I had to do that too. And I love myself some Obamacare, healthcare.gov, because you got me through and gave me the process step by step towards Medicare, and you got me there. I am 65 this time last year, January. That's when I entered Medicare. They said your official card will be coming for my birthday, which is in the month of March. And January, I still had the 2 gap months before my actual birthday month. It's very specific. But healthcare.gov got me through it all. They told me what to do almost step by step. And then I woke up one day and boom, Medicare, my page was all ready with Social Security. They were telling me what to do. It's a beautiful thing. But it's all about planning. It's all about going online and learning the steps and being visible in their database. They will help you through the process. And I'm blessed because never forget my other channel is called The Expansion with Vanessa, The Expansion with Vanessa. And it's because I talk politics, because everything on the planet is controlled by the umbrella of politics. And the reason I'm telling you to go to that channel and subscribe is because I was blessed. But this is 2025, and those same people that blessed me with a path are now trying to destroy and blow up that path. So those of you who are 40 and up, I pray for you. I don't know what's going to exist for you. I can only tell you this is the moment to start learning, to not be afraid. Think about it. If I survived COVID-19 and the globe did, if voters understand how important it is to get to senior life retirement safely and soundly, if the voters understand how important that path is, then hopefully you will make it. But if young people in particular, and if other people in particular, do not get what it takes to get to this path safely and just thinking, oh, it just happens, it just drops out of the sky and it's easy. No. You have not worked hard until you work the path to protect your senior life. So, E, physically you have to get here. And once you do get there, for me, I got to the new location. I reconnected with the people. I made it through the pandemic. And the next step was physically clearing out the old and in with the new. So to clear out the old, I counted. I had over 300, I'm going to try again. I had over 300 boxes of life. Boxes. I had been away 30-something years, people, almost 35 years. I had so much stuff. I had furniture. I had a house. So I've had so much. And I got it all here. And it was in storage for about 3 years. And pandemic, literally, right before the shutdown on the pandemic, pandemic. The pandemic, I had cleared out my 300 boxes out of my storage. It took that long. It took me almost 3 years to clear out 300 boxes. And I gave away all my furniture. What I have left is maybe 20 some boxes because I kept saying, what happens if I do have to move somewhere? I'll just keep the basics, my history, and it's like, who and I have to breathe. I'm grateful that I don't live in a geographic territory of fire, tornadoes, hurricanes, snowstorms, all of the bad weather stuff that can destroy your whole life, the flooding. Think about it. You lose all your birth information, your professional information, your adult information, your documents, all of that. I get why people moved most of it online. I do. But there are some things, your photos, your little mementos, all of that, you can lose it. And so I have them in a box, safe and sound. I have about 20 boxes that I try to keep just to say I did exist. And it took me years to get rid of everything else, people. It's not easy. If you can do it right before you say yes to retirement, if you can, get rid of all of it little by little. If you're 40, you need to right now start saying you've had an incredible fun life, but it's time to move to minimalism. You cannot take care of all that stuff as you get older. And as your family dwindles, people are going to pass away. Who's going to help you pick up the crates, pick up the boxes, go out there selling, giving it away? It's a lot of work. The crap that exists in your house, this is the moment. And that's what I had to go through for 3 years every day and night. I was purging all that stuff. Materialism became my worst enemy. I had a gadget for every little thing. Give it away, throw it away, people, get rid of it. So hint, that was E, are you really ready to say goodbye to your past so that you can open the doors to your future? I'm Vanessa, and I hope to see you for episode number 2. Don't forget, part 1 is on YouTube, my channel name, YouTube. My channel name on YouTube is Rather Retired, because I'm rather retired. And my channel name on Buy Me a Coffee is Rather Retired, because I'm rather retired. And I'm here for you. Part 2 episode is called How Did I Retire? And there's a lot of information that you will be surprised. And for me, I'm going to go knee deep into your insurance, knee deep into your housing, transportation, traveling, hobbies. I mean, it's here for you. And I will be there soon. And I thank you for tuning in. Please do subscribe, become a member, follower. And yes, I could use that